Lagos, you're welcomed inside the locker room. And of course, you're welcome to Smooth 98.1. It's going to be 45 minutes of pure football heaven and, of course, sports heaven. If you're out there and you love sports, you know what to do. To be a part of our conversation, you can reach out to us on all social media platforms. We are at Smooth 981 FM with the hashtag lockerroom981. Also, reach out to us on WhatsApp with the number 0809 444 Our very special guest, as always, sports analyst is Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Good to have you in the studio.
Like you have a choice.
And you're talking all about sports as always.
All right, like in Lagos, if you want to be a part of the conversation,
Please.
you can please join us on Twitter. We're at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. If you'd like to join us live on YouTube, Tega is wearing a very lovely, nice pink top because obviously that you people like to know what she looks like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Go on to youtube.com/Smooth981FM, and of course you can also send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 4440981. Now, our first story here is Nigerian focus, and it's in football. And it goes thus. NFF has abandoned me, Manu Garba cries out. Golden Eaglets coach Manu Garba says he feels like he has been abandoned as the build-up to the Under-17 African Cup of Nations continues. He was speaking against the background of the MRI test needed to be done on his players to verify those who are within the age limit. With less than a month to the tournament in Tanzania, Coach Garba said without the MRI test, he could not pick a team. He said, obviously, we have players who have not got the opportunity to play that can make the team to Tanzania. That is after the MRI. We don't know who is who now until after the MRI has been conducted. Why I didn't give those new players a chance to play is the fact that all the players that played today for us have passed the MRI before, and we are sure at least 90% will go to Tanzania.
Okay. So if you're sure that 90% will go, what's the cry about? I'm just saying you either want the MRI test done or you don't want it, because if you're telling the NFF that okay, so the NFF according to reports it will cost the NFF 4 million naira to conduct MRI tests. So if you already know 90% of the team that are going to go and you already had a team, then give the NFF a good reason to spend 4 million naira on conducting tests for new players. And I guess that's what it is. Is it that you have a team or you don't have a team? Because if you don't have a team and then we need to conduct an MRI test, we need to conduct MRI tests for the players, then it makes sense to throw out that money. But if you say that 90% of your players are ready, and it's just that you want to try and put in new players, then the NFF come and spend 4 million. Then we ask you to bring the books. How much do we have? And I guess that's maybe that's what's holding them up. So I don't know what he wants, if you ask me, because he did have a team that qualified. Where are those players? So except you're saying, okay, we had a team, we had people that qualified, but that cannot be my 23. We need it. Then you know that you're looking for a full team, and then we can start putting money in there. But if you tell me that you know your team, then I can't help him. I don't know, because I don't know how to argue because for me it seems like asking for too much money for something that has already been, virtually concluded. Then you're not asking them to spend extra money. Yeah. And now you're saying they've abandoned you. You're not crying out that they've abandoned you. When it's just dramatic. Please, next story.
Okay, so let's talk about some tennis story here. A pair of established veterans battle a pair of next-gen ATP Canadians in Friday's semi-final action at the Miami Open. And, 7th seed and defending champion John Isner takes on Felix in the day session, while 4th seed Roger Federer faces number 20 seed. This is Denis
Shapovalov.
Yes,
Shapovalov.
In the night session.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, Kayode, you tried. Yeah, no, you're about to go to Sharapova him. He's from Canada. It's not even from the same country. I don't even know how to help you. But let's start from what the next gen have been doing. I think I would say from early last year to this year, it's been crazy. They've been establishing themselves. They don't want to be the player of the future. They want to take the future on now. And so Sasha Zverev last year had he had a good year when he won the 1000 Masters. He went on to have a fantastic year end where he won the top 8. What's it called again? The ATP tour, the final tour for the top eight best male tennis players. Fantastic year. And then he did that, and Dimitrov snuck in and just took one. This next year people are just trying to establish themselves. They don't want to, because they've noticed that this vampire Federer is not going anywhere. And Nadal and Djokovic are not going to give us anything. So we are going to start taking what we can. But fast forward to this year, it hasn't even been that generation of the 25s and 23s that are now talking. Is a 19-year-old like Denis Shapovalov. Well, he's going to be 20 later on this year, but 19-year-old like him, the 18-year-old like Felix Auger-Aliassime. Those are the guys that are Tsitsipas that is just 20. They're establishing themselves. They're like, you know what, these 25-year and 26-year-old guys want to win. Let's try and win. And so
almost keeping.
So later in this tournament, Sasha Zverev fell out very early. Same thing with Dimitrov, who is also just coming back from injury, so it's understandable. Tsitsipas struggled a little bit, but he was also beaten by Denis Shapovalov. So you're looking at these 20-year-olds who can. If you see Felix Auger-Aliassime, he looks like a guy that can play football. He looks like that guy that will play football. That's how his body shape is, and that's how his court coverage is. Like, he can run 95 minutes. He's good to go. And he's just still warming up while you're out of breath. And so you look at these young guys that are still excited. They're a little bit off in their timing, but they have the energy, they have the enthusiasm, they're excited, and they're chasing down all these veterans. And it's not funny. So Roger Federer is going to play a 19-year-old guy. Roger Federer's career, is it not older than 19?
So he started playing even before the
so he's going to be playing this young guy that probably didn't even know.
So it's experience over talent.
Yeah, it's not experience over talent, because that would be to say that Federer doesn't have as much talent. So it's youth over experience. That's what it is. And so these young guys are just coming out here, and they have no, like, Felix was interviewed yesterday and said, look, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just playing. you understand? Somebody like Roger Federer will get on court and be thinking, oh, this is my 101st title if I can win this. Oh, I have never been beaten by a left-hander before. Or he would have too many records to be fighting against. But Felix and Denis Shapovalov have nothing. Their slate is clean. It's not like they're keeping up any resume. So they have no weights on their shoulder. They're just playing. John Isner won this tournament last year. It was his first 1000 Masters. And he's played so well this year. Everybody's looking at him and saying he may win this year because he served everybody else off court, yet to drop a set. And then he comes against this young guy. He has that weight. Like, I'm defending champion. Meanwhile, he played against a Felix guy that doesn't have a care in the world. No children, no uncle, no auntie.
No
It's just very, I want to see how this is going. It's going to be really interesting to see how this will turn out. I still think, after barring the first match, Roger Federer has played excellently since. I still think that Roger has that edge over Denis, because again, I talk about the timing and all, but to see the young guys play with no weights is just refreshing.
All right, so let's see what people had to say on WhatsApp. Don't forget, you can send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981. We're also on Twitter, so if you'd like to send your messages there, use the hashtag LockerRoom981, but make sure you're following us as well, not at Smooth 91 FM. Lookman from Ijebode says, what a weekend upon us. Club football returning and Bahrain Grand Prix, and a very good one for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the wheel. I can't wait for him to drive Barcelona crazy next month. You have this one here.
This one says, Chai, see how Tega just slid in. Slid in.
That Roger is a grandpa in career terms.
In career terms.
Okay.
Nice one, Cruz.
To the final. All right, guys, we'll go on that break, and when we come back, it'll be time for us to take even more stories in the locker room. Tega is not going anywhere, so stay tuned.
Tell me the time, because I'm looking. I actually, I actually thought I was trying to stretch the story to cover the time.
I was going to I'll tell you. I was like, why is Tega talking? Don't you know? I wanted to squeeze in the Mercedes story.
Yeah, I was like,
but I know that you're always conscious of the time. So I didn't think. I thought, okay, maybe you just.
I was trying to I was trying to stretch the story to come on time because I couldn't see very well.
No, I was just like, okay, maybe Tega wanted us to really delve into the story.
Wait, it's not that deep.
So before the stories, let me just see them first.
Okay,
because the fonts are actually small. I
struggled
to bring it up.
Sorry, do you want me to increase the font?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we can increase it. Or do you want to
try
read
to
from
do it
the
myself?
WhatsApp
Actually,
story?
it's better I read from
the phone. But the phone is charging though.
No, Allah. No, Allah. That's why I always want to see it.
Because
I always want to see it first before I read it.
Okay. And but in cases whereby you have to do like move from self, how do you do that then?
Yeah, then you read it.
Tell him to wear his glasses.
Wait, your glasses don't work.
I'm wearing my glasses, but I need an even
better
one.
One of those people.
I need an even better one than this.
That will not change their glasses. I'm not going to enter your car. I have a friend.
I drive really slowly.
Oh, really?
So, I'm the safest person to ride with.
Are you serious?
Yes, I don't speed for any reason.
My friend.
I don't.
No, me, I'll be annoyed in that car. Yes, me, I'll be annoyed in that car.
No, I don't drive like a snail, but I won't unnecessarily struggle the road with you.
Okay, so this one.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to try and rush in the.
What time are you doing the question height?
Yes, I was supposed to do it that's why I wanted. I totally forgot. I was supposed to do it as soon as we came back. Before the Man U story.
Okay. So do you want to take Man U story next?
No need. Let's just do the Mercedes Grand Prix and then we'll take the Man U story. So, but the Mercedes will be 2 minutes or less.
Okay, so I'll just take the first paragraph and
yeah.
So, Lacums.
Don't worry. Call out Lacum so you want to give her $1 million.
I'm telling you, when I need something from
her. Let her answer.
When I need something for her, I'll call her Lacum. When she needs something from me, I'll call her Lacum. If she likes it, she'll not collect it. All right, Lagos and the world. Actually, we should stop saying Lagos because we actually make.
We're in Lagos. We're a Lagos-based.
But our audience is not Lagos though.
Well.
Because particularly, it's not just Lagos. Like particularly because we have people now. We are now social media.
So it's all over the world.
Yes, all over the world. Yeah. We have app here and all that. Somebody actually corrected us once. That can you people stop saying Lagos because I'm not. You have people that are not in Lagos. Okay, well, the guy that is coming to pick me up.
He's here now.
No.
Okay.
He's calling him. The guy that was meant to pick me up had a challenge, so he sent somebody else to pick me up. I'm going to Ibadan. I'm so excited. I think I told everybody in the crowd. This morning. Where are you going? Tomorrow.
You're going to Ibadan to do what?
It's a family friend's funeral. The mom's funeral. So
Okay.
all of us, so my mom. Hello?
Why did I put it longer on?
Hello? Morning. Sorry, this is you're picking me up from BI this morning. So I told Emode that I should arrive here at 9:30, please. Yes, please. Do you have the address of the place? All right, thank you. So I'll see you at 9:30. All right, bye. Oh wow, everyone saw my comment.
What's that?
On YouTube. Hi everyone, if you'd like to come on, I've told the whole world, if you'd like to come with me on a road trip, and Tega might just come along with
Lie.
Good luck with that.
You might want to.
All right, Lagos, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, well, you haven't missed too much, but you have missed quite a bit, though. This is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. And yes, we're still expecting your messages, so reach out to us on 0809 444 0981.
All right, we'll go to this one here. Mercedes boss Wolff expects Ferrari to compete in Bahrain. Mercedes expects Ferrari to bounce back at this weekend's Bahrain Grand Prix after the champions dominated the opening race of the season. And they said, we've seen the potential of Ferrari's package in Barcelona. We expect them to come back strong in Bahrain.
Yeah, I think is that unpredictability that is really interesting about this season, because you know how fast Ferrari can be, but you have to suspect that maybe there was a problem in the first race in Australia. And so moving from Australia to Bahrain, you can't say, okay, because they had problems in the first race, they're going to have a second race. Every single race is going to keep you on your toes. Now, it's a competition between constructors, it's a competition between drivers. I can tell you for free that Hamilton did not like the fact that it was Bottas that won the first race and he that won the pole position, did not win it, because he kept saying it was a good result for the team. Notice he didn't say it was a good result for me. So Bottas is coming in there saying, last year I didn't win a single race and this year I started with a race. He's feeling on top of the world, and Lewis Hamilton is just waiting for us to just get into this car so I can put you in your place. So there's that Mercedes fight, and then there's a fight between Mercedes and Ferrari, and then there's Red Bull saying, hey, wait a minute, we're not all quiet here. We've been doing some work over the break. So it's an interesting one. I want to see what today's practice session will be like, so I'll know how each constructor would fare in the race. But again, it's still the usual suspects. It's still Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. The question is, in what order are they going to end on Sunday?
Well, good question. Okay, so for Manchester United fans, well, I think it's great news to start with.
Yes, so this weekend is going to be Manchester United versus Watford on Kwesi TV. So download the Kwesi iFlix on your phone so you can watch it as you go, wherever you plan to go, or you can tune into UHF 32. Yes, UHF 32. I always say download your Kwesi iFlix so that you don't have time to go and be. Don't bother. Just download the iFlix and get the phone. But you can tune into UHF 32 to watch the Manchester United versus Watford game. Guess what? For free. You don't have to pay for it. Because good news is that Coca-Cola is the official sponsor of the Premier League of the APL on Kwesi. So they've paid for it. All you need to do is download that on your app and watch it for free. Somebody else has paid.
Now, speaking about congratulations, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's no news anymore that he's the new manager for Manchester United. Now, he's saying that basically, well, the story reads, new permanent Manchester United manager has set himself the target of winning the Premier League trophy while warning his players that they will be shipped out if they slack off and, well, they don't get the job done.
Yes. So bottom line is this. He didn't say he'll win this year's Premier League, not this year. Don't be you say, why is he dreaming big dreams? Because they've given him big job. He's talking about that is the whole idea is to eventually get back to winning ways in the Premier League. This is a guy that won 6 Premier League titles with Manchester United. There was a time that you couldn't think of Premier League champions and not think Manchester United in the mix. Now you don't do the same thing, and he's trying to get the club back to that position. Now that they've given him the job, some people say, why didn't they just wait to the end of season? Some people say, it's a good time to announce it. The timing doesn't matter. The fact is they have now set their ship. They know who is captain. The captain can now determine what they do going on from here out, or from here on out. So he's saying that just because he's been given the job and he's been friendly and chummy with all of you, does not guarantee that he will stay here. Some of you will be shipped out in the summer and other people will be brought in. So if you don't, from now on, what he's going to be looking at is which of my players is going to be part of my long-term project. Which of my players can I afford to let go? And this is the wake-up call for players like Anthony Martial, that today they are good, tomorrow they are, Rashford, that he goes on a 5-game streak where he's scoring goals, then he'll just go on another streak where he's missing chances. So yes, people keep saying, but he's young. My friend, keep quiet. I saw a goal by a 19-year-old Messi the other day. Rashford is not this young guy anymore. He has reached the age where he should start scoring his chances. So players like that, Sanchez, who have come to Manchester United and
not delivered,
and has not his wings. I think he left it in London. They are going to be looking at players like that, and so those are the players that now need to help the team to get into top 4 and hopefully book their spot on the Manchester United bus for the next season. Otherwise, you're gone. And it's a tough game this weekend, an interesting one, because a team like Watford, they like these games against the other big teams. Sometimes they get beaten silly. Like somebody will take Watford and beat them 5-0. I don't understand how somebody takes a team with Troy Deeney, who's supposed to have the cojones and beat him 5-0. But sometimes they come into a game and they bully you physically, and they beat you on the counter and they get the job done. So it's a tough game this weekend, and everybody's coming from that international break. So it's not like they have a momentum already riding on. So it will be interesting to see how they'll set up, especially with this new appointment confirmed, how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will handle his first game as permanent manager, how he's going to win. But ultimately, it's not about this season, it's what he's going to do next season.
Let's hope the win doesn't start, this appointment doesn't start with a loss. I mean, you know, the temporary one.
He's not Scolari. I
So,
mean, he's not.
we'll
let's,
see.
let's just call
We'll
him
see.
Scolari. He's not Solari, eh? And this is not Spain, it's England.
Okay. All right. So still in England, we have here Klopp, wonderful base for running. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp believes his side have created a wonderful base for the remainder of the season as they continue their challenge for the Premier League and Champions League double. He says it is exciting, absolutely. Klopp told the Liverpool's website, that's what we were always talking about. A season is like that. You constantly prepare a basis for the final week.
Yes, and they have prepared a good basis for the final weeks, but they face a tricky opponent in Tottenham, who have also on Sunday, who have also received good news that they can go to their home stadium on the 3rd of April. So they are buzzing with that, and they're trying to enter there with, you know, some shield on their chest. Also, they also have to contend with the fact that the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal are right on their heels. So if they're going to keep that top 4 spot, they're going to have to win games, and sometimes games as big as Liverpool. And so it's a tough fixture for Liverpool. They're 2 points ahead, but they have played 1 game more than Manchester City, who they're competing with for the league title. So they know they have to beat a team like Tottenham. Tottenham is also running from trying to stay in top 4. And so what should I put? The consequence of this game is really weighing heavy on both coaches to see how they can get the results. I think with the way Harry Kane played in England, he'll come back with that confidence that I have a few goals. On the other side, Mo Salah was able to get some. Well, he got a well-deserved break. At least he didn't play against Nigeria. The coach, they're resting him, so he has slept.
And that's why.
Hopefully, let's see if he will come back and score. But they also have the Sadio Mane, who was on a hot streak before the international break. Hopefully, he wants to see that continue. So there's a lot of pieces that are going to make this game very important. Ultimately, if you ask me, it still looks more, because they're playing at Anfield. It still looks more like Liverpool would take the 3 points. But because it is football and anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I will give the choking cockerels a chance.
All right, let's go to your messages here. Big E says, hi, Ion, Mr. Baker, and Tiger. Please, Tiger, don't you feel Man U should have waited for the club to enter top 4? And also claim the FA Cup, which they have lost as an evaluation for them to employ Gunnar as their new coach. And did you see what happened to Yosaf Noche? He broke his ankle while making a shot. I hope he heals fast.
Okay, he just slipped in NBA to football.
All right.
Yeah, it was a nasty leg break.
Oh, gosh. All right, Chinwe Nancy says, congratulations to Ole Gunnar. He has done so well to merit this job at Manchester United. But honestly, I didn't see anything different. All I can see is a team that refused to play for Mourinho, but currently playing well for Ole Gunnar.
Oh, I wanted to high-five Chinwe. Let me high-five Ayo on your behalf.
So Chinwe, I took the high five on your behalf. Okay, let's take... Oh, all right. So let's take a few more comments. Great analysis. I am saying great analysis, guys. Nice
Salute,
talk,
Tega.
Salute.
All right, Lagos, let's go on a quick break. When we get back, it'll be the final stretch right here on Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
Sorry.
I didn't want to take the longer ones because of our time.
No.
So we'll go back to them.
Chuma sent like 5 messages.
Yeah. And Rufus from Rufus. Is it Rufus? Rufus or Rufus? Rufus.
Anyway, you're thinking Rufus.
Federer is an old never to die. Okay, so do you want to read this one? Or you can't see properly. Do you want me to read
I can
the
actually.
message?
Just read the message. Don't worry.
Okay, I want to try and increase the size. I'm trying.
Please open your phone. I want to search for something.
Okay.
The
On
old
Google.
keyboard
Open
had the old keyboard had that thing you can use
to magnify.
I always make the
I know
fonts bigger.
Rufus will send his comment again. Some people is like,
You think he didn't
you
get
must
it?
read
You
my
must read
comment
it,
again. This guy, I don't like reading his messages. They're always, even this is the shortest
Edit
message.
it. Edit any message.
Yeah, right. Message. This is actually his shortest message. You see what he sent on Lagos Talks? It's like from here
Down.
down.
People
Takes
that
his
are
time to
reading.
write.
Chinwe Nasi, high five
five
to
to
you
you
too
too.
from to Tega too. Let's see. Guys, you know that if you want to send your comments to YouTube, you could actually do it. And guess what?
Tega,
We'll
which one's that?
read your comments out.
What?
Which one's that
So
girl?
follow us on
The
YouTube.
one
Oh,
with
yeah,
the cap?
for those already following
Yeah, this
us on
black guy.
YouTube. Bye.
This is
Tega,
the,
wave to your fans on YouTube.
look at his body, all the way to his legs. Footballer.
Tega.
He went to play. He went to play tennis.
Wave to your fans on YouTube.
His name
Please.
Felix Ogier Alisin.
Tega, your fans are waiting for you on
Hey,
YouTube.
hey, they find look fine boy. You've not heard that I want to marry a younger guy.
I haven't heard. Have you heard? Are you younger than Tega? Please apply within. Okay, so we have Rufuses and then we have Chimobi. Can take one from Victor. Chimobi might actually be watching. Money.
When I
Never.
met Chimobi, I met him at a wedding.
Oh,
You
you
see the
did?
way he was. He said, "Do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?" I'm like,
And
"God,
you
yeah,
look
it's not
from
your
his
wedding now,
messages-
bros."
From his messages, you can
not
tell
your
that that's the
wedding.
kind of person that he is.
He's actually a nice guy. So
How did you identify you as
Hmm?
Kayode Baker?
He's probably seen my picture.
You research, you know.
He introduced himself, Sam Chimobi Victor. I'm like, okay.
We know him. People that we know, I know already. Yinka, this person that has a fine, wonderful time inventing names and locations. So different names and locations. I find it so interesting. Big
Oh,
E
shit.
from K2.
Big E.
Yeah, 18.
Um,
You can tell that he's 18.
MI from Akoka.
MI, yeah. He comes here.
He comes there for
He comes to the station. MI from,
to
yeah.
do what?
Business chat generally.
Oh really?
Okay, mic's up. Lagos, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1 with Ayo Mairo Ese.
And Kayode Baker.
Okay, so we got messages up on WhatsApp at 0809-444-0981. But let's get into the stories before we attend to your messages. Let's talk about Atletico Madrid and their resurgent Morata. Now, Atletico Madrid forward Alvaro Morata has shrugged off a poor spell in England by hitting form again, and his club need his goal-scoring talent basically to continue. And when they visit Alaves on Saturday with their La Liga title hopes up in air.
Yes. So, let me put it this way: Atletico Madrid are 10 points off of Barcelona. Yes, they still get to play Barcelona. Let's just say play. They still get to play Barcelona towards the end of the season, but they're 10 points off Barcelona, and at this point in time, they're just 2, I think, of Real Madrid. So they're running away from their rivals. And so this game against Alaves will be critical for them and interesting. And funny enough, that's where they've seemed to struggle with the teams that you expect them to get easy 3 points is where they have tended to lose those points. And I think for them, the international break was very welcome because first it was the loss against Juventus, and then it was that loss. Then they came back to La Liga and they had that loss, and so I think they needed a break to try and catch themselves because they were a little bit woozy from getting knocked out of the Champions League. So I think that break was good for them, and them coming back right now, they'll be able to restart. Let me put it this way: their chase of the Champions League spots.
Okay.
That's just what it
Chase of the
is.
Champions
They
League
cannot
spots.
they cannot chase down the league from Barcelona. It's gone.
It's 10 points.
It's 10 points. It's gone.
But could
And
it
and
be
in as
that-
much as Barcelona is still involved in Champions League and still involved in Copa del Rey, they are that big team. They've been in that position for so long where they can chase on many fronts different titles. There are some teams that too many chases affects them. But Barcelona, their players know how to play for long. There's a little bit of a depth in the squad that can help them. I mean, apart from the fact that Messi and Suarez have to be a fixture, they can move around other pieces in the midfield. And so that's the good news for Barcelona. So they can do that on many fronts. I think Barcelona is also playing Espanyol this weekend. Almost looks like a guaranteed 3 points. Almost. I mean,
You never know.
you never know now because of TV money. All these other clubs have risen up to start taking points. And then Real Madrid face Huesca with Zizou in that place. It looks that one is guaranteed 3 points. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Tega. We'll take just one or two comments before we wrap up. We're far gone, but we'll take this one from Rufus from Edward Road says Roger Federer is an old, never say die grandpa who is still maintaining a local standing and an intimidating presence on court. Also, Chinwe is high-fiving you back. In the spirit of Faji Friday, little prayer point for you. As Naomi Osaka ended up keeping up her number one spot, may your crown not be removed from head in your absence, even if you lose opportunity to keep her. I'm sorry, my pigeon.
Okay,
so
she was knocked out, and Simona Halep needed to win for her to take the number one spot. All the drama.
All right. Okay. We have just one more before we go. Big T says, not a Manchester United fan, but appointing Ole is the best move they have done all season. Hope he can keep them stable.
Let's hope so too. Lagos, don't forget you can keep the conversation going with Tega on Instagram. Oh, excuse me. On Twitter.
Instagram.
That's one place you'll never find Tega. But yes, at Tega Supreme on Twitter, and also keep the conversation going with us here at the Smooth Station, where it's Smooth 981 FM. Don't forget, coming up after this, it's Lagos Talks 981, where you, Lagos, get to tell us your thoughts for a Feel Good Friday.